What's up, quarantine people? Week 6. I know I wanted to get out of the house myself, so I'm here at my dad and my uncle's tailor shop doing my next video. With the shortage of the PPE masks that's been going on, my dad and his brothers have been helping create masks and donating them to the people that are working on the front lines. So today we're going to show you how to make two different types of masks, a pleated mask and a nose-shaped mask that we downloaded a template from Google. Alright, before we jump in making the masks, let me introduce my dad, Jay, or Jiten. You can call him whatever you want, he has many names. So, where did you learn how to sew?
Actually, we learned sewing at my dad's tailor shop. We were still in school. We used to go after school, couldn't go home, had to go straight to the shop where he used to teach us how to sew and all that. Actually, we didn't do any work at all, but all we did was learn by observing how he used to do it. It took us a while before we could actually do the garments ourselves. But then eventually, after many years, he gave us a shot at it. He said, okay, here it is, go ahead and do the thing. From there onwards, it was...
so that trust
good.
issue came from generations, then
Yeah.
I see. So how long have you been doing alterations or tailoring?
Alteration, we've been doing it for almost like 55 years now.
Wow.
And up till today, yeah, we still continue doing it.
Okay, so then who and what gave you the idea to start making your own masks?
Well, actually, my daughter, Nimisha, approached me and asked me, Dad, would you be interested in making those masks? So I said, well, I can look into it. And I looked into it, found a few templates and all that, tried a few masks, turned out to be good. I showed it to my daughter, Nimisha. She said, yeah, that'll be fine. So that's what made me. I made a lot of masks for her. So she distributed those at the Kaiser Hospital in San Francisco.
So how does it feel seeing your grandkids, particularly your granddaughters, having an interest in tailoring?
Well, two of them, Jaina and Maya. Jaina seems to be very interested in sewing as well. I showed her a few knickknacks. We made some scrunchies and all that. And she was very kind of interested in sewing. So I brought her one day to my shop here and we did some of the scrunchies. And she helped me doing it. And she has a pretty good hang of the sewing machine. On the other hand, Maya, she is so interested in sewing. But with this quarantine lockdown, there's just no way I can go and help her do anything right now. But maybe down the road, yeah, we'll get together again.
There you go. We will. So with that, let's jump into making the mask. So we'll start with the pleated mask first. If you are interested in wanting masks or wanting to get some or donate them yourselves, feel free to comment or reach out to me. Subscribe to the channel. I'm happy to send them out to you. All right, Dad, take it off.
We would need a scrap piece of fabric. What I normally did was took a cotton fabric, cut it into an 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 square, which we have right here. I overlocked all the edges on this particular fabric because cotton does ravel quite a bit. A lot of you people don't have overlocking machines. The regular tabletop machines do have a variety of modes in stitching, so you could use the zigzag sewing machine and go all the way around. We'll be making a pleated mask. The fabric that we're going to be using is a cotton fabric from a scratching. What we would need to do is to cut it 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 inch square to form the pleat. So the first part of it, we're going to be stitching the top part, the formation of the nose, and closing the bottom one as well. Inside the nose, we'll be using a tie to put a formation right on top of the nose. So we'll have to stitch that inside, do the same on the bottom as well. Okay, now we're back onto the ironing table here. What we'll be doing now is to press 3 pleats right onto the fabric in such way that the two sides of the mask is about 3 1/4 inch in width. Press the pleats down so they stay in place there. So what we'll be doing now is put a stitch right on each end of both sides to hold the pleats in place. Okay, the next step is the pleat that we just pressed. We're gonna do a little stitching on the edge there just to hold it in place on both sides, so the pleat doesn't open up when we fold the hem on it. So this is what we just stitch this so they stay in place there. So what we do now is turn the mask around, fold a 1/4 inch on the side of it. We'll be using elastic which is a 1/4 inch width, 5.5 inches long, and we're stitching that on both the edge corners. Do a little tap on it, continue the stitching all the way through, using the other end of the elastic stitched on the other corner. That's one. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now that we've did the first one, the pleated mask, the next mask that we'll be making is a nose-shaped mask. The nose-shaped mask requires a little bit more stitching in there as well. We've downloaded a template from online. This is what we use. Also cotton fabric, but in this particular case, we had to cut 4 pieces of these. That's for the front as well as the back. So in the first step, what we do is lay both of them face down, and we're gonna do a little stitching right where the nose shape is on both ends. That's 1 and 2. Now what we need to do is put both of them together. So what we do is face down on both of them, match the ends on this, the top part of it, and stitch the one side of it closed. Trim the excess fabric out of there. Now you notice that we left the 2 sides open. Pressed out all the seams already. What we're going to do is take the iron and press it flat on both sides, stretch the seams out so they form a nice little clean edge on it. You can see it's taking shape already. So what we do is now, the 2 sides that was left open, what we want to do is take a 1/4 inch and fold it inside. I normally put a little tap on it so it stays in firm there. It doesn't have a raw edge on it, so we have a clean little edge on the side there. Do the same on the other side. We are ready to put the elastic on there now. First of all, what we want to do is machine the center seam all the way down to hold both the fabric in place. This will hold the fabric in place. Even when you wash it, it's going to stay in place out there. So what we're going to do is the same 1/4 inch elastic, 5.5 inches long. We're going to insert it on the one corner, about a 1/4 inch inside. Give it a little tap on this so it stays firm. Push it on the other side and continue the stitching to close the seam out there.
So there you have it, guys. There's 2 ways to make masks at home, but if you're lazy like me, message me. We're happy to send you guys some masks. My dad is happy to make some. He also wanted me to mention that be careful when you're stitching. If you're not comfortable with the sewing machine, you could take your little pretty fingers off. So be careful if you're under the age to get supervision if you're creating these or making these. Thanks, Dad.
You're
Do
welcome.
you want to say anything to them?
Not much. I hope what I've shown you would make it a little easy for you guys to sew. That's about it.
Well, there you go. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Feel free to comment if you have any questions. I'll put the list of the instructions and the materials needed for these masks. Be safe. Wear the masks. Have a good one, guys. Bye. Do you want to stand here by yourself, or do you want me to stand in the video with you?
Whatever.
You're gonna ask questions, so
Yeah.
then you should be in there.
Okay. All right.
Once he starts making the mask, then you can
Then I can get out.
move on.